Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we'll make a custom Acadia cutting board with laser engraving. When it comes to making custom cutting boards, we can make them out of any size, any shape, any material. And that means Corian all the way through live edge wood and laminated wood like this Acadia. Now in this case here, I didn't have the live edge species that they needed at the size that they required. So my alternative was to propose doing it in Acadia, and I'm happy the customer agreed with me. It's a really wonderful wood to work with. And I actually use this stuff for my own countertops in my house. And I also use scraps of this for my own cutting boards. It's really hard wood. It's about 1 inch thick, and it laser engraves just fantastically. Something I really enjoy is mixing up CNC tools with power tools and manual tools. In this case here, of course, the board was a lot larger than this cutting board, and as a result I used the laser after it did the laser engraving to the spec that I wanted it to be for durability. I used the laser to actually reference my X and Y, so I knew exactly where to cut it with my normal skill saw. Now the nice thing about that is there's nothing more precise, even me with measurements, than my laser. And I already had this in the laser bed, and I already had all the sizing referenced. So it just made total sense to use the laser to cut it out to the right dimensions. Scroll saw or scale saw might be overkill for something like this, but it works perfectly. And I needed a large table, so I just used the table of my CNC router. I gotta resurface the surface of it anyways, so it's not a big deal. So after all of this was cut to size, the next step was sanding it. In this case here, I wanted a nice sharp lettering, and there's a bit of smoke, so the sander takes care of that. And I also sanded all the edges, just to have a nice flush square feel to it. The scale saw actually cuts a really nice line of it. I just wanted something to be really sharp and cleaned up, so that's where the sanding comes in. It just helps make something that's sort of good to really good. Now the next step after that, of course, was sealing it. What you see here is actually just mineral oil, and it works wonderfully for cutting boards. Again, in my own house, this is what I do, and I don't think I've ever worn out a cutting board. I just keep making them and stacking them up. So what are your design options when it comes to custom cutting boards? Literally any shape, any size works totally fine. We have a CNC router, so if you want it in the shape of a whale or penguin or whatever you can imagine, we can do that precisely with a CNC machine. Just routering it out at the right shape and then throwing it on the laser. And when it comes to laser engraving, any font, any size works. As long as you have a black and white image, it works fantastically. Also family photos, pictures of your dog, whatever, it totally works fine. There are some limitations when it comes to real live edge, just to keep in mind. They don't make trees that are 1 meter wide much anymore. So usually that's a laminated board like this here. And the laminated board is actually a lot stronger than just a regular live edge. You can see here the tendons they use to hold it together. So this thing here is a lot stronger than actually just using real live edge. It's a lot more durable, it's less prone to warping. So it's really, really wonderful option to seriously consider. Even maple, we do a lot of cutting boards out of maple. And again, I prefer this kind of laminated maple. It's still solid maple, it's just little strips glued and stuck together with tendons. And it's incredibly strong. So if you're looking for custom cutting boards, contact me at CNCKing.com. Cut it to any size, laser engraved to any spec that you want, and ship it right to your door.